guys, I hope you're doing well. As you know, Easter is coming very soon, and a lot of people tend to get bunnies around Easter time, which is a problem because as we know, Easter's symbol is a bunny, and I think because of that, people want to get a bunny during Easter time. But a lot of people don't do the research properly prior to getting a bunny. So what happens then is they get a bunny, they're not prepared for a bunny, and they just end up surrendering the bunny to the shelters, or worse, some people just leave them outside to fend for themselves. And all of that could be avoided if research has been done prior. And a lot of people don't do research. I guess I know why. It's boring, it can be long, but rabbits are one of those creatures that you do need to have knowledge about prior to getting them. So this video is essentially a research but in a video format. So if you're thinking about getting a rabbit, especially around Easter time, I just wanted to shine some light about rabbits, what they need, what to expect, and kind of warning signs about them a little bit, just so you kind of are prepared a little bit when you do get one. So the first thing I wanted to mention is the fact that rabbits are really high maintenance animals. There is a common misconception that they are low maintenance, which is far-fetched from the truth. They are really high maintenance. I have a dog as well, and comparing the two, dogs are way less maintenance than a rabbit. There's way more hard work around a rabbit than there is around a dog or a cat. You need to change your litter box twice a week, clean the environment once a week, make sure you have hay at all times, your veggies stocked, and give them a lot of time and attention. So they are very high maintenance animals. The next point I wanted to mention is the fact that bunnies are not good starter pets for children. I know a lot of people do tend to get bunnies for children as starter pets, and that is not a good idea. A young child is not going to be able to look after a bunny properly. A rabbit is a huge responsibility and commitment for like 10 years because rabbits tend to live on average between 8 and 10 years. So a young child is not going to look after a rabbit properly and for such a long time. They don't know how to handle them properly, and even if you do teach them how to pick them up, they don't like to be picked up. They're not cuddly animals. Rabbits prefer to be on the floor at all times. So a child is not really going to understand the fact that a rabbit doesn't want to cuddle, and they might try to pick them up. And even if you do teach them how to handle them, a child is not going to fully be able to learn properly how to handle a rabbit. And if they do try to pick them up, they might cause serious harm because they might drop them. Rabbits have fragile necks. The necks could break easily if they get dropped. So it's important to tell your child that they can't be handled, you can't cuddle them, and that's boring for children. So what's the point of getting a bunny for children and they can't really do like cuddly things with them? You're better off getting like a hamster or even a dog or a cat as a starter pet for your child. These are way more low maintenance animals and they are more cuddly. You can cuddle them, you can pet them a lot of times. Rabbits are more like they'll come to you when they want attention, but otherwise leave them alone. So yeah, a child is not going to like that. So again, no point in getting a bunny for them. I would say that children under the age of 12 should not have a bunny, but obviously that's individual. It depends on the person. Some children grow up faster, they get responsible faster, so they can handle the responsibility of having a bunny. But generally, I would say avoid getting a bunny for a child that's 12 years or under. Rabbits are very social animals, hence why it's good to get a pair of rabbits at once. So obviously, if you decide to adopt and there's only a single rabbit for adoption and they're not bonded with anybody else, then obviously you'll just get a single bunny and perhaps get another bunny to bond them with in the future, which is my case where I got Snowball and she was only a single bunny, and I am planning on getting her partner in the future. But obviously take into consideration the fact that rabbits feel safer and are happier in a pair. So if you are thinking of getting a bunny, it would be wise to get a pair at once, especially if they're bonded already. Bunnies need a lot of space, and a lot of shops will try to get you to buy a hutch or a cage for your rabbit, and this is really bad for them, as you know, they need a lot of space. They can't be confined to such a small area. They need the room to jump, to run around, to just be rabbits. And you know, hutch or cage is not going to allow them to do that. So what you can do is actually bunnies can be free roamed, which means they don't need to be in a cage or hutch ever. You just need to make sure the rooms are bunny proofed. You don't have to allow them to be free roaming the whole house. They can just have 1 room or 2 rooms or 3 rooms, as many as you want. You need to make sure they're bunny proofed. But that'll make them so much happier and so much healthier as well if they have a chance to just be free roamed and just not being confined in any space. You know, also, you know, you need to consider that, you know, a room has to have a lot of floor space. You can't just put a bunny in a room where there's not much floor space. That's not a good option either. So before you get a bunny, you need to make sure that you have somewhat of a space for them to run around. So like whether that be a separate bedroom for them, or you can share a bedroom with them like I do with Snowball, but you need to make sure they have a lot of floor space to do so. Also, you need to know that bunnies don't do well with cats and dogs. Bunnies are prey animals, whereas cats and dogs are predators. Bunnies will feel very unsafe and very uncomfortable, threatened, scared when they are within the reach of a predator like a cat or a dog. So if you do have a dog or a cat in your household already, make sure that again that you have potentially a room that you can separate them with. So let's say if you allow your cats and dogs to be in the living room, then you can't really allow your bunny to be in the living room all the time with them, unless you supervise. You need to always supervise your rabbits with cats and dogs. Obviously, you can allow them to socialize together, but it has to be under constant supervision. You cannot allow them to be in a room with cats and dogs unsupervised. So let's say if you want to leave for work, you can't just put your bunny in the same room with your cat or a dog and you leave for work. No. You should never allow your cat or a dog to be alone with the rabbit unsupervised. You need to provide a rabbit with a separate room where the dog or cat doesn't have access to it unless you allow it. So that's very important. The last thing I wanted to mention is the fact that rabbits are expensive. They're not expensive to get, but they are expensive to keep. The costs really do add up when you have a bunny. You need to make sure that you always have fresh hay for them. You need to buy the fresh veggies for them. You need to make sure they have medical care, so annual vaccinations, checkups, spaying and neutering when they're old enough, also for fly strike treatment. You also might want to consider getting pet insurance for your bunny, so for emergency treatments. There's also cost of chewing toys and just normal toys in general. You're gonna have to replace those toys often because they're gonna get chewed up. And if you have 2 bunnies, which is recommended, that's doubled. The cost is doubled. So you need to take all that into consideration before getting a bunny. Figure out whether you can afford a bunny. There's also a cost of damaged items. So obviously if you do bunny proof the areas where your bunny does go, they might still destroy something, so that has to be replaced. So you need to also consider those costs as well. So that's all for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a massive thumbs up. I hope this video has been useful for some of you guys. If you're thinking of getting a bunny, it might help you make a decision. If you are new to the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button and hit the notification bell to make sure you don't miss another video. Comment down below, and if you want to connect with us even more, follow us on Instagram at SnowyTheBunny14, and I hope to see you all soon. Bye!